Hey guys, I miss y'all. I have some new shows coming up soon for recaps, so stay tuned. But today we are going to be recapping The Real Housewives of New Jersey, episode 12, Sláinte. Sláinte, Sláinte, Sláinte. So the girls got done fighting at the bar. And it's time, it's a wrap. They need to go, they need to leave before they get kicked out, okay? The girls are drunk, and when they're drunk, they're all loving and caring. So I love to see it. I think they should always be drinking. I feel like it's necessary for these girls to just get along. So it's the next day, and Melissa, she is down for the count. She had a lot to drink, so she's a bit stuck in bed while all the other girls, they head down to breakfast. Jen Fessler, she's making the girls laugh, y'all. Jen Fessler is the comedy relief. She's a relief, okay? So she makes the girls laugh by asking, so where's the booger wolf? Where's the booger wolf? And that should be a thing. That should be, the word of the trip that the girls should use in the future. I think even though many people thought Jennifer Aiden, this was a rehearsed read, I love it. I love it. I feel like it's going to be historical. I'm going to mention Booger Wolf for a couple of months now. So I felt like it was an iconic moment. So Danielle, she is down at breakfast and she's just ready to reset and to move forward and have fun with these girls because this trip has been nothing but stress. It's not even a vacation for her. So she is ready to be positive, and I feel like Danielle typically is ready for it to be positive. I feel like either Rachel brings up the rat situation again, or the other girls bring up that whole situation, even when Danielle and Rachel seem to be getting along and trying to move forward. It seems like other people or Rachel are bringing it up, but it seems like Danielle wants to have a good time. She wants to have fun, okay? So Melissa finally makes it to breakfast. She dragged herself out of breakfast with her little jacket with the hood on. And, she tells the girls she's not feeling well. She actually feels like her voice is, coarse. And that's because when she's drunk, she likes to yell. And I'm like, that's a fun drunk Melissa. But, Melissa, she's powering it through. So she makes it to breakfast. And so all the ladies are at the table having breakfast, chit-chatting. So we learned that Dolores' boyfriend's family will be visiting Mr. Paul's family, and we actually, not just anybody, we don't get to meet not anybody, we get to meet Paul's mother. And I'm like, oh my god, I feel like this is such a serious relationship. I'm here for it. Mr. Paul, he's very serious. And so we meet Paul's mother, Dolores. She's so sweet. She answered the door, and she's completely welcoming, touchy, huggy, and they have good banter. They call each other little hussies, and I think it's such a cute little story because when Dolores was staying over at the family's house, she felt kind of awkward, sleeping in the same bed and having, her fun time with Mr. Paul. And when she would do the walk of shame, the mother would be the last one to fall asleep and the first one to be up. So she would see Miss Dolores do the walk of shame. And so she would call Dolores little hussy. And, that's a little cute little term that they have with each other. I think it's cute. It's cute banter. I feel like the mom looks so much like Paul. Like, when you see the mom, you see Paul. When you see Paul, you see the mom. So the mom looks like Paul, and Paul, you look like your mother. Okay? So Jennifer Aiden says to the mom that, we're planning a wedding for Dolores and Paul. And the mom is actually quite happy. She's delighted. They love Dolores, but what is not to love about Dolores? Dolores is such a sweetheart. Any person should be grateful to have Dolores as a daughter-in-law, sister-in-law into the family law, okay? So I was happy to see that the mom was happy at the thought of, Dolores and her son being together. And I'm just so here for it. I am truly waiting out to the end. If Mr. Paul is going to propose on this trip, y'all, I'm still holding my breath. Is this the moment we're going to get? Is this episode going to be the episode? Because it seems like there's a lot of prep work to it. So next we see Teresa and Melissa, and they're actually bonding over the love of Dolores, Paul, and the family's love. They're reminiscing and thinking about, how they first all came together as a family. So I thought that was good. They're embracing the whole family situation. Like, for example, we get a little story time from Melissa when she first slept over at a family vacation with her husband. And, she was sleeping in the same bed with him. But at the time, I guess they were not married. Or I don't know. Maybe it was early on. And Melissa recalls Joey's mother being like, you little putana. Like pretty much a little hussy, like calling Melissa a hussy. And Teresa didn't know that, and she was so delighted to hear this story about her family and them meeting Melissa. So I think it was a very nice moment for those two, and I really did enjoy it because you see the genuine happiness in Teresa's face. Because the one thing Teresa cannot do is Teresa cannot say that Melissa doesn't care for Teresa's family. I feel like she is so loving, so sweet. She's a good sister-in-law, a good daughter-in-law. So I feel like, at least they could come together on that. And I'm like looking at Melissa's face, and she's so happy to reminisce on that. And I think that's such a beautiful moment. I think it would have been even way better if Joe was there to hear about this story too. I think he would have got a good laugh and he would have had some good jokes about it. But I really did enjoy that moment. It was such a sweet moment. The girls were not fighting, and it took Paul's mom to do it, okay? So I love that also the ladies, they made the mom laugh by showing the guys' photo shoot for the charity, where the guys, they dressed up as like different professions in a sexy way. So she was laughing at seeing all the photos of the guys and seeing her son in this photo shoot as well. I thought this was such a great family visit. It was definitely much needed. And I think it would be a highlight moment for me in the Ireland trip. Thank you, Paul's mother, for making this a moment memorable in Ireland. I feel like we had such great laughs. I enjoyed her. I don't even know the lady, but I enjoyed her. So, guys, it's the ladies' last day in Ireland, and they need to turn up. So, guess where they're going to turn up over at? And apparently, Jennifer Aiden, she sets up a day event at the farm. At the farm. I guess the farm, but Teresa, she was not all that excited, and neither would I be, especially if this is her bachelorette party or her final event before the wedding. But I thought it was such a good theme because Jennifer Aiden's point of it was calling it a hen party. So a hen party, of course, you got to bring it to the farm. So I thought that was a good play, Jennifer Aiden. I like it. It's something different and something unexpected. I would not have expected Jennifer Aiden to set up an event at the farm. So I just thought that was, something unexpected, because I feel like these girls a little bougie. Take these Jersey girls out the bouge and into the farm. So we love to see it. So the girls' first activity at the farm is that they have to catch the cock for good luck. And I thought this was hilarious because that cock was running away from these girls. And that was a cock that didn't want to be felt up, okay? So Teresa, she takes Melissa as her partner to do this with. And I'm like, okay, Teresa, you always try to have a moment to bond with your sister-in-law because that's your sister. Okay, I see you. And I'm watching this whole thing go down, and I'm like, Teresa, she does pretty well. She catches the cock, and she does well. So it's another group's turn, and we have Rachel Fuda. She was a good sport, but oh my God, the cock definitely started her. She jumped right back, but I thought she was such a good sport. But Danielle, girl, I swear, Danielle, she wanted to show herself as a tough cookie. She's like a tough cookie, but she really gives scaredy cat. She gets scaredy cat vibes. She was so scared to pick up the cock. I was like, girl. This is not the same girl who was about to buck up on these other girls when they were picking on her. No. Especially when we had all arm gesture formation, like she was gonna come at these girls. I'm like, this girl is hard. But after this trip, it's confirmed that girl is a scaredy cat. She's a scaredy cat, and that's okay, Danielle. That's okay, Danielle. But Danielle is super sensitive, y'all. She may be giving me Cancer vibes. I think she's a Cancer. She's a Cancer. I can see a Cancer when I know a Cancer when I see a Cancer. So now the ladies, they move on to painting as their second activity. And it's going to be a painting of Teresa's life. So Teresa, she doesn't get to paint. She gets to enjoy. She gets to relax because she's the bride. And all the other ladies, they're going to be painting. So Teresa, after, the tour guide, such a sweet guy. He's a good host too because he is so excited for every activity that the ladies do, as he should. And he tells Teresa that you don't have to be painting. And he tells about the girls are doing this activity. And Teresa, she just remembers being in prison, especially when they're talking about painting of Teresa's life. Teresa automatically remembers prison and she gets super emotional. And she tells the ladies specifically, ladies, please don't draw any jail bars. She does not want to remember any of this. So she got super emotional. But even Margaret, like if you want to call Margaret her nemesis on the show, even Margaret said that no, they're going to just be doing only good memories. They're only going to be painting good memories, beautiful memories. And I'm like, man, Teresa, I can't believe your mind have to even go there. Like, I would feel like that would have been so evil if one of the ladies have drawn up jail bars. Like, no. Even though that was a part of her life, that's not something you can just throw in people's face like that. Like, sheesh. But these girls have done that. Maybe not these girls, but wait, maybe these girls. Jackie did probably said clink, clink. But I can understand Teresa. Teresa's about to get married. She does not want to reflect about being back in jail. I think she has left that behind her. And, all the girls had their digs to say about her, about the situation. So she's now moving forward. So, yeah, the girls, they did a lot of positive memories, Melissa, she went first. And she does the Italian flag. And she writes down the name of Teresa's home city. And and she draws Teresa's family coming from Italy. And Melissa, she gets super emotional. And I can understand Marlon. And I'll explain to you after I explain the scene. So she gets super emotional and Teresa hugs her. And, my thoughts are that these two can really choose to move forward. And they really could if they choose to do so. But I feel like, what's making it hard for Melissa, and this is not an excuse for Melissa. Melissa, regardless if her husband is not getting along with his sister, Melissa shows up as a representative on the behalf of that family. She is a mother who stands as a representative of that family. So she has to put her game face on to say whether or not she's getting along with Teresa or not. She does at least present herself and make a situation to try. And I think she tries, but sometimes, and I can understand that sometimes Teresa says things that, can trigger a response for Melissa to defend her family, in which she thinks about it in two ways. Like Melissa's thinking about her family, her husband, and her kids. And then her family, which includes Teresa and her husband and the whole family. So it's a hard position to be in because she wants to take up for her husband, but she also wants to take up for this beautiful family that she came into, So it's hard. Next, the other girls, they drew like the wall of success. So her books, her recipes, and then they drew out where she met Louis. And then we have the iconic table flip, which I felt like was a little bit shady. But, I think if you look at it in the bigger scheme of things, you could say it's pretty much a drawing of Teresa making it on the Real Housewives of New Jersey and being one of the iconic figures from that franchise. Because when you think of Real Housewives of New Jersey, you cannot not think of Teresa Giudice. You cannot not think of Real Housewives of New Jersey without thinking of Teresa Giudice. Can you think of Real Housewives of New Jersey and think of Teresa Ruelas? I don't know. It doesn't roll off the mouth like how Teresa Giudice gives, because Teresa Giudice is a gangster, but Teresa Ruelas, I guess it's not the same effect for me. We will always know her as Teresa Giudice. Okay. So, this trip is making Teresa remember the past and all the good things, all the good memories. And she is inspired, y'all. She is inspired. And she is inspired to have Melissa's family in the wedding, to have Gino walk down with the daughters to be a part of the wedding. But it's a bit unclear. She doesn't say explicitly that she wants Melissa's family in the wedding, but she says it would be nice. It would be nice. And Melissa, she does not want to be a prop for nobody's wedding. Okay, not her family. I'm telling you, Melissa's acting as a representative. She's the representative of this family. So she is taking the stand, and she's saying to herself that she's not going to be a prop and her family's not going to be a prop either. So I don't like when Teresa does this because it is kind of vague. Like, I feel like it is an olive branch in a subtle way because she wants to be the good person and offer, to say that, she did invite her family. Her family just choose not to show up. But I don't know. I don't think that moment ate like she thought it would eat. Like, no. No. So it's time for lunch. The girls are having lunch. And the food is a lot of green. And I thought it was cute. It was cute. But I would be hungry. I would need more than that. I wonder what's Ireland iconic dish that you have to eat, like how we have ribs, how we have in the Caribbean we have like plantains, or what we have, what else, any icon. I want to know what is Ireland's iconic food dishes. If you know, let me know down in the comments below, because I was waiting to see, I wanted the girls to eat what I guess the blood sausages was an iconic dish of Ireland, but that didn't look too appealing to me. But I don't know, the lunch, it was cute. It was cute. So Teresa, she mentions to the ladies how after this she has a lot to plan after this trip for the wedding. And we learned that Bill is a part of this wedding. And I'm like, this wedding's about to be tomorrow and you inviting people last minute? Girl. I'm like, damn. And she's saying, since she doesn't have family, Bill, is nice to have Bill to be a part of the wedding. And I'm like, of course, Melissa is tired. I would be tired. Would you not be tired if you were not in Melissa's shoes? Because this is insanity. Either you do have family or you don't have family. But I know this is just an expression. She doesn't mean that she doesn't have family, because obviously she does have family. But, So Danielle, another reason why I think Danielle is a Cancer is because she's empathizing. She's taking in all this emotion. She's absorbing all this emotion. So Danielle, she's getting upset about Melissa and Teresa's situation. And I'm like, Danielle, as a viewer, on the behalf of all viewers, we have been sad. We have been cried our tears about the situation. But there is really no more tears left to cry. There's no more. My eyes are dry. I am tired. This situation has been enough. It's been going on for years. Okay. So I'm sorry, Danielle, but we are a little bit ahead of this whole situation where we're at. I see you catching up, but I think Danielle's giving me Cancer vibes. She's a Cancer. Her horoscope sign is a Cancer. Okay. Why? She's sensitive. She has a hard shell, but she's soft on the inside, and she absorbs everyone's emotions, and she's very caring, very loving, and she likes to do coffee talk. Okay. That's a Cancer. So the girls' next activity is to jump into this mud. And I thought that was kind of cool. I never seen anything like this. To me, the mud looks like brownies. like a brownie batter. It looked quite tasty. Maybe I'm hungry because, guys, for lunch it was just a bunch of greens. So now the mud is giving me brownies. Okay, it looked delicious. It looked nice. It looks like a nice moist brownie. That's for sure. And so supposedly this mud is good for skin. So we have Jen Fessler just rubbing it on her face. I'm like, girl. Jen Fessler, she's hilarious. She is a fun girl for sure. And of course, I love that we have this moment with Melissa and Teresa having fun. They're the last ones to actually jump into the mud because they were the most, I'm not doing this type of situation girlies, okay? So they jump in the mud together and they kind of do this little play fight and they're having fun. And I'm like, this is what I like to see. I like to see my girls having fun. I like when they have fun. I really do. I really, really, really do. And I wish they would stop fighting. So the girls, they get ready for dinner. And Danielle, she FaceTimes her man Nate. Okay, she calls her man Nate. She misses her man. And we learn that the guys are actually having guys night. So Danielle, she talks to her man about how this trip has been to her, and it's been a hard trip for our Danielle. It's been a hard trip for her. She says that the girls are coming at her, and she has to watch Teresa and Melissa go at it. So Pumpkin, she needs a vacation for the vacation, and I hope she does get one because it has been a lot for her. It has been a lot. She's a newbie. So Margaret, she FaceTime her man Joe, who's with Margaret's friend Lexi. I'm like, who's this blonde? This blonde looks just like Margaret. I'm like, that's suspicious. That's weird. And, apparently, Margaret, she gives us the rundown. I'm like, girl, you explaining a little bit too much to make us understand that nothing's going on. But I don't know. The way Marge goes to friends, I don't know. So apparently, Lexi was there for Marge during her divorce. So Marge is returning a favor and having Lexi stay over, And I'm like, I don't know, girl. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes clear because Joe is a good man. Joe is a real good man, okay? So Marge tells all the tea on Teresa's wedding to her man Joe and her friend Lexi, and they both gagged. They both gagged because they are like, this is nobody's first wedding. And exactly, this is nobody's first wedding, yet we still getting all this drama like it is. Like it really is. So I'm like, sheesh. Man, Marge is quick to tell her man, and we know it's going to be guys' night. So guess what Joe going to do? We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So all the girls are ready for the whiskey event at dinner. But guys, we got to switch. We got to switch and see first. We get to see the guys at guys' night. So Lexi and Joe, Marge's husband, are doing the prep. And they're arguing like a married couple. And I'm like, Marge, keep your eyes on Lexi. I ain't saying she would, but she could, okay? So, to this guy's night, Louis is not coming because he has post-COVID symptoms. So, he's not coming to this party. But, when Bill Aiden, he arrives and Joe, Melissa's husband, arrives, Marge's husband is quick to mention that Bill, look at Bill invited to the wedding or whatever, right in front of Joe. And, Joe had to say what he had to say. And Joe said, with no disrespect, you're an afterthought. And I thought, Joe is keeping it real because that is really an afterthought. Because to be invited to a wedding that's taking place in 2 weeks as, part of the wedding situation, the what you call it, the cabinets or whatever. It's like, but I get it. Okay, no one is gonna pass up an invitation with upgrades. Okay, it's one thing to attend as a guest, but it's another to be a part of the troupe, to be part of the grooms and bridesmaids or whatever they call. But that's an upgrade. I don't think the Aidens gonna pass an upgrade, y'all. Especially for free, y'all. They were already attending. They were already attending, so they could find and fix something to wear, whatever, Come on. That's ain't nothing to the Aidens. That's nothing to the Aidens. So the guys, they come in, and they're all celebrating Frankie's Mary Jane business. And apparently Frankie's in the Mary Jane business because he needed to be able to relax. And he's offering a product that will help the guys relax. And so he wants the guys to try it out. So Joe, Melissa's husband, he's like, I don't do that. He don't smoke like that. And he's like, not too interested into it. But Frankie, he smokes the Jane, and he kisses Joe. And I think that, the guys are just being hilarious. We love to see it. They got paid to do this by Bravo. And so 35 minutes later, the guys, they're just gone with the wind. Fabulous. They're just, what a blessing. What a blessing to not only promote your business, but to enjoy your business and get paid for your business. Isn't that the gold at the end of the rainbow? Isn't it the gold? That is beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And these guys, they have fun. They don't even try to argue. Even when Joe tries to talk about his family and try to go on and on about it like he usually does, he loses the train of thought. I'm like, good. Okay. But interesting enough, Rachel's husband brings up how Danielle been calling his wife a rat. But these guys, they are so gone. It doesn't even amount to much trouble. So I'm like, okay, guys, y'all got paid for the scene. Y'all enjoyed, y'all had fun, and y'all ate. And I actually love how they had like a food truck for the guys to eat. I'm like, the food that they had was giving options. And I shredded a tear because these ladies in Ireland, they only had us look at greens, eat grass. I was looking at the dirt thinking, man, it looks like brownies to me. I'm hungry. So we're back in Ireland with these girls. And the girls, they are tasting whiskey. And the whiskey is over 43% alcohol. That is strong. That is okay. So Jennifer Aiden, she is drinking up and doing all the tasting. She is not leaving anything on the glass, not leaving nothing. And Jen Besser is liking it and is here for it. And Jennifer Aiden is about to steal Margaret's friend, Jen Fessler. Okay. But of course, Jen, she gets drunk. Teresa, she says how she enjoyed her time here in Ireland. The girls, it's the end of the trip, and all the girls are saying how much fun they had and how much it was a great time. But Danielle, she keeps it 100. She says she did not have fun. Isn't that funny? Danielle, she says she wants to address these girls and figure out how are they gonna move forward, because she's not gonna be fake. She's such a Cancer. She's giving Cancer vibes, okay? So Danielle and Rachel, of course, they are fighting. And Melissa, I like Melissa. Melissa is like, you guys are putting a lot on Danielle, which is true, when she is just repeating what she heard, which is true as well. Because we know the puppet master behind you, Danielle, is Jennifer Aiden and Teresa Giudice Ruelas, okay? That's the puppet masters, okay? So Danielle says, Marge, Danielle's like, she even corrects Melissa's statement. She's like, yeah, they putting it on me, where they should really be putting it, and Marge should be really mad at, is her friend. And I'm like, is she gonna divulge and drop the secret? Like, because we know these girls have been sitting on a secret. I'm just wondering when it's gonna drop. And Jennifer, in her confessional, she is like, she is not making eye contact with Danielle, because then that may signal to Danielle to drop the secret, and she doesn't want to. And I'm like, girl, you're funny. So Margaret says, you see, the way you act, you always gonna have issues with your family, because you don't ever forget. You say you forgive me, but you don't ever forget. And that hit Danielle. Danielle's a Cancer, okay? Danielle, she cries. And, the girls, they say, oh, we got to go to bed. It's going to be early morning. This is our last night. We have to be up to catch our flights. And they try to, shut it down, and move forward. And Danielle's like, I'm fine. And I'm like, girl, she's such a Cancer. She's such a Cancer. But then she goes to her room where she should have done it initially. And she cries in her room by herself. And I'm like, these girls. But I'm like, no, this trip can't be over because we didn't get an engagement from Mr. Paul. Unless, I don't know, Mr. Paul have greater plans. But I'm so excited for Dolores. If Dolores gets an engagement from Mr. Paul, I'm here for it. I'm here for it as of right now. Okay, guys? So that was the end of the episode. We did get a preview of the next episode. But first, before I get into the preview, I would like to say that I feel like this episode gave. I had so much fun at the end of this Ireland trip. It was giving fun. It was giving so much fun. I rated it high. Can I say 10? Can I say 10? Can I say 10? I don't know. What would you guys give it? But I could say maybe 10. The reason why I can't say 10, because Miami really came hard, okay? The Real Housewives of Miami, they really gave what they were supposed to give. So I'm delighted with this episode. I'm happily delighted. I would give it a 9.35. A 9.35. Moving closer to a 10 by 9.5. 9.5 would be high. 9.5 would be quite high. But I would give it 9.35 as what I would rate this episode. Now, getting into the preview. The preview of the next episode, guys, it was giving. I was giving, for me to have some excitement. I'm looking forward to this next episode. And I'm right back at it again with these girls. I'm here for these girls. We did get into Teresa and Melissa's situation and all, but it didn't hang for the whole episode. So I am appreciative of that. Let's keep it moving forward, girls. Let's keep it moving, ladies. So we still sitting on a secret and we just gonna have to wait and watch. So guys, if you like this recap, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'm excited to recap more episodes of The Real Housewives of New Jersey and to drop new recaps for new shows coming up soon. So stay tuned and thank you so much. And don't forget, share as much kindness as possible. Talk to you guys later. Goodbye.